think I've been very spoiled with good coffees. I don't easily get this wow effect, which is a bit sad, but that's like, good coffees are good. There are some more excellent coffees, and they're extraordinary coffees. And then I felt it without thinking. Very first time for me an encounter was a flat white. I didn't know what it was, but it was all about milk over espresso. And I was fascinated about the sweetness in milk. And if I wouldn't get this nice sweetness, for instance, I was wondering, oh, this is not good, but why? Memorable moment is 2014 when Swiss Barista Champion of that time, Nina, was training for World Championship. Back then, I was fascinated that the cappuccino Nina served tasted like strawberry, and she said that in advance, so I got like really impressed. And then she explained that it's Ethiopian coffee naturally processed. And back then, it didn't make any sense to me because I didn't know anything about coffee. So it was not about what is the tasty coffee, but it's more like which one is the one that I like. Yeah, the strawberry-like taste. I was never thinking of owning my own business in Zurich. But since I got into coffee with championship, and then my interest or hobby slowly overtook my profession at that time. And then I started to work as a barista. And in the meanwhile, I also got to know Matthew, who was also a home barista, but an engineer working. And then there was nowhere else where I wanted to persuade my coffee passion as a profession. So that was the moment when Matthew and I decided, hey, let's create a community in Zurich where we can celebrate coffees like a championship. So this, the silver on the left, that's mine from 2015, as I was just shocked to win for the first time as a Barista Champion. And then Matthew was jealous because he was third in the latte art. He didn't get any trophy. So he said he wants one too. So he competed and he got another one next year. That's his. And then 2018 was something very crazy because we got 2 of each. One for me, one for Mathieu, both for Brewers Cup Championship and Barista in Switzerland. Then the same year for Barista Championship in Netherlands, he got this, which is the massivest thing ever we have, or Mathieu owns, 3rd place. And mine, golden kettle, is in the second shop. I was working in tourism industry. I was selling Switzerland to foreign guests traveling into Switzerland. And back then, Switzerland was a product to showcase. And it depends on the need of customers. I try to arrange what they like about Switzerland. Now, coffee is my product. Customers are international. And then I try to arrange the different shapes of coffee that they wish to see. So, role hasn't changed. Product just got more tasty. So the journey for me last year started in end of August, when Matthew just came back from the Daterra farm in Brazil because he was invited as a finalist of WBC, which took place in Amsterdam 2018. And he was like secretly on the quest of a good coffee for me.
And then we started having the cupping of their classic Brazil. Chocolatey, sweet, no acidity. I'm like, why am I here? Like, you know, because I was already thinking I need to find coffees for Emi. And then we go, then collection. I was like, oh yeah, oh, okay, well, it's interesting. And then finally, the 3rd day, we do the masterpiece. And then I'm like, what's this? This is incredible. And then Lex was like, you know, be careful because there is always this farm effect. You know, it's like when you go on holidays, the wine tastes amazing. You buy the bottle and then the wine is not so good, right? But I was like, guys, this is amazing coffee. And all of them are so good. I want this, 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 this.
And then after the trip, he came back with some beautiful coffees in his rucksack. So I had zero expectation, almost no hungry motivation. It was like, I'm going on holiday this afternoon. Okay, we have to cup. Okay. So I started, and then I cupped, and I could see that my excitement inside just rise. And I'm like, oh, wow. So it never got worse. It was getting better. And I never had such a clear experience like this in the cupping.
And this, we thought immediately, that's the Brewers Cup coffee. Because you know, at Brewers Cup, you need to have your coffee hot, warm, and cold. And we said that coffee changed so much with temperature.
And I was like, wow, okay, I think I have my coffee. I decided to ask for support to my one and only Tetsu, who is a Brewers Cup Champion 2016.
So then we called Tetsu, and we said, Tetsu, I think we found the coffee, it's from Brazil. And Tetsu was like, I think you guys, you don't know the Brewers Cup level at the World Champion. I'm actually going to bring some coffees, because I don't think you guys, you know what you're doing. I was like, okay.
So the final selection, we had 18 coffees on the table. I didn't say which one is what. I just asked Tetsu-san, I have my favorite coffee there. I would like you to reconfirm it.
And Tetsu chose only one coffee, and that was Laurina. And he was like, that's Brazil? Yes. Yeah, that's Brazil. It's incredible. So it was incredible. It was exactly about changing your mindset.
The biggest goal was to recreate my experience in cupping onto a stage in 10 minutes. That's the whole vision. And then at some point I realized that Laurina is very reactive to temperature. And then started to think, how can I make clean differences in brewing temperature in one brew in 10 minutes? So I tried different devices, and then one device kind of showed me a possibility of being able to do that in one brew, which was Gina, because this has this little valve that can maintain the heat when I have it closed, and when I open it, it functions like non-immersion, and it took me 2 to 3 weeks to initially complete. I think this is the recipe, and then the small things we adjust. Quite challenging part was after arriving in Brazil, and then I started to train. Nothing worked. The coffee was actually fresher than I wanted, but then that period of the time, you just want to have everything ready. Actually, until the morning of the first round, coffee was never good. And I'm like, why? It's not bitter, but it's dry. It's not that complex. The coffee is like one-dimensional. And those things started to worry me. So then I'm asking, what do I do wrong? What do I do wrong? Is it the grind size, or is it the water, or is it what is this? Nothing worked actually until the day of, so okay, in 2-3 hours I'm going to stage. Can I have my music? Yeah, I was 60th. Lucky. Yeah, I was very lucky. It's also championship luck plays roles, and I got the golden ticket. Couldn't sleep because I was very happy. And next day, the Laurina tasted the best of 3 months of training. It was amazing. It tasted like beautiful alcohol parties. Like it tasted like sangria, it tasted like champagne, white wine, red wine, like bang. I was like, whoa, what's happening? And I was so happy that was the day. That was the final. And Laurina tasted the best, like by far the best. And then, what else do you want to do? I mean, coffee is amazing. It tastes like a party. I can brew again. So I was very chilled.
You have to imagine, you're in Brazil. You're with all the Daterra people cheering for us like crazy. At some point, it was known that she had the Brazil. At the beginning it was a surprise, but then all of a sudden all the Brazilians, she was like, there is someone who has a Brazilian coffee that is in the final. And then so you have the massive crowd for you. It's amazing. It's like a moment where you're like, you feel you play soccer at home. You know what I mean? Like you have the entire crowd for you.
Shocked. Like, okay, happened. Yeah, I still remember just right after the announcement, they gave all us like, trophies, and everybody was kept, and then, okay, now it's picture time. I looked totally ridiculous. I looked like, and then the photographers, they said, smile, smile. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I still feel like this. It's not about winning a title. It's about learning about coffee. I think I keep competing because I, in the end, enjoy the process of training for competition. So if you have even reward for what you've achieved, it's an bonus. So anybody who likes coffee should compete.